Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Educational Bows. I'm Karthi, and in today's video, I'll be explaining the cerebrum, simple and easy to understand. So let's get started. Now let's talk about the cerebrum. The cerebrum is the largest part of your brain. It's also the most important. The cerebrum's main function is to integrate sensory information from the environment. The cerebrum is divided into two main hemispheres, the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. These two hemispheres are connected by a fibrous tissue called as the corpus callosum. Each hemisphere is divided into four main parts, or four main lobes. These four lobes are the frontal lobe, the temporal lobe, the parietal lobe, and the occipital lobe. Now let's talk about these four lobes. Now let's talk about the frontal lobe. So the blue highlighted structure you see over here is the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is at the most anterior part of your brain. That's why it's given the name the frontal lobe, because it's at the most frontal part of your brain. The frontal lobe controls problem solving and intellectual activities. Also, the frontal lobe also controls your attention, judgment, behavior, memory, and even your muscle movement. Now let's talk about the parietal lobe. This is the parietal lobe. The purple highlighted structure you see over here is the parietal lobe. The parietal lobe is located at the most upper area of your skull. It processes sensory information from the outside world, mainly touch, taste, and temperature. It also controls pain and it helps in visual functions. Next, let's move on to the temporal lobe. So this is the temporal lobe. The temporal lobe sits behind the ears and is the second largest lobe in the brain. The temporal lobe is responsible for auditory information, memory, emotions, understanding language, face recognition, and also object recognition. Now let's move on to the occipital lobe. So this green highlighted structure you see over here is the occipital lobe. The occipital lobe, unlike the temporal lobe and the frontal lobe, is the smallest lobe in the brain. The occipital lobe is located at the back of your head. The occipital lobe helps in your visual functions. It helps in color recognition, word recognition, and also your movements. And that's basically it. That's the cerebrum explained and every single part of it. If you like this video, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and also feel free to hit that like button. See you in the next one. Peace.